Qlik Dork back again, and today, my friends, I'm bringing you Dork Cast episode 47 from my Data Cathedral studios here in always sunny Gainesville, Georgia. We are going to be talking about a topic that I'm so excited about because I've been talking about taking action on data forever. Our title today is Analytics to Applications. I've got a couple of friends with me who are also passionate about this topic, which is kind of why they're on this show today. First one is Achim Gnadt, and Achim says he's a curious student of life. I think he doesn't get paid for that, but that probably represents what he does, but we'll find out from him. I know that you all are multitaskers. Feel free to screenshot so that you have his information after the show. You might want to reach out or just go ahead and go to LinkedIn right now because let's face it, you've got me in the bottom corner of the window just listening while you're doing your day job. He's also brought along with me a fertilization engineer. Well, man, that's a subject we're going to have to get into here because I've never seen that title, and I'm all about making up crazy titles. Sebastian Nadtke is a hardcore developer with Leitart, works with Achim. Both of these guys were on my show for Dork Cast episode 33 a while ago. We're going to be seeing what they've been doing since. And again, feel free to connect with Sebastian either through email or on LinkedIn. Both of these guys work at Lightart, and here's the website. You can hit that as well right now so that you can see everything that they're doing, because I know you're going to want to know more about this after we get talking. So, guys, I appreciate you being on the show again. I know you're off doing lots of shows. You actually have day jobs where you're working and things like that. So, Achim, where's curious student of life come in?
Well, I actually stole it from somebody else. There is someone in Canada who does book reviews and lessons learned in life in his podcast. And he called himself a student of life, and I thought that actually sums up pretty well what I'm passionate about as well. Just love learning how the world works, understanding how things happen, and trying to influence them in a positive way. So
Nice.
that's why I
Well,
feel quite
as the
confident.
old guy on the show, I can tell you that's gonna serve you well, my friend, because there comes a time where you've pretty much seen everything, done everything technically, and there's got to be something that you're curious about to keep you motivated to keep going, or you're just like you get bored with it, and you're gonna lose that smile, man. We don't want that. And imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so I'm sure he's happy that you're taking that title. Now, Sebastian, I've had a lot of people on my show. I've never had a fertilization engineer on. Dude, where did you come up with a title like that?
We can have a look at Data Plus. We will see how it works later on as a fertilizer for Qlik. So I love pushing Qlik's capabilities into new territory since like 13 years. I started with Qlik View 10, I think. And yeah, it's all about like turning analytics into real action, not just dashboards. And that's what we do at Lightart all day. Um,
Nice.
we are working on that. You might see later that maybe Qlik is the best planning platform on the market. And it could also be at the same time the best project management tool on the market. And that makes us curious every day at Lightart, right? Working in so many different fields with Qlik and pushing like the boundaries all day.
Nice. And I love the way you propose that. That's definitely something that I believe in highly because most people think of Qlik as a pie chart producer. Right? It's
Yeah.
That's
just
harsh.
it's just data visualization, right? And so I love being at conferences like we're a little bit more than that. Like there's a lot more that we can do. And so going from pie chart producer to plan the best planning tool, the best project management tool, that's something that I think people are probably going to be interested in. When you mentioned the fertilizer, Achim, I got to tell you, man, the reason I reached out to you was like, I need you on my show again. You showed like a little video GIF type thing recently on LinkedIn that really got my attention of a tree. And I thought it was a fantastic visualization to try to help people understand that difference between how do we go from just plain analytics to being closed loop analytics where we're taking action then so that our insights actually have value to the company instead of, oh, wow, I found it. I guess I'll keep it to myself, right? Is there a way you can share that little video thing that you did and help explain what this was?
Sure. I hope you can see the video now.
Oh,
Um,
there's no pie charts. I feel bad, man. You got a bar chart.
Yeah, we usually use bar charts, especially the stacked ones. I love those
Okay.
because they portray so much information. So maybe you know the same feeling of being stuck in analytics. It's what we felt many years ago when we did really great use cases with Qlik in regards of analyzing what's going on, understanding what is going on in real time, sharing that with everybody that needs to know that. It's really great when you start rolling out Qlik in a new organization, right? You find the first five use cases very quickly of how you can bring all the data together and understand what's going on. But at some point, you reach what we like to call the analytic ceiling, right?
Mhm.
You want to do more, you want to take action on your findings, but you just can't with what Qlik brings. And that's where we have found many ways of how we can add value to the platform by introducing Data Plus, by introducing the ability to take action right there where you are. So you don't have to jump to your ERP system, to an Excel sheet to take action on your findings, but rather we can expand what is possible with Qlik and we can add so many more use cases, right? Like you see some examples on the screen. You can not only do financial controlling in Qlik, but you can really do financial planning by just adding a column there to include your plan values, right? And now in this year, we have seen so much innovation around MCP, adding large language models directly to Qlik, to that context that you already have in there. And that's what we want to focus on today, to show you some real life use cases of how you can add MCP to that.
That's fantastic, dude. Because I think on Dork Cast episode 33, when we talked about action then as well, and
Yeah,
it probably had some title that was about action.
right.
Because that was really cool. And so what you're seeing now is you've taken Data Plus, it was already doing some incredibly cool things, and you're extending it by using Qlik MCP. Is
Yeah.
that what we're going to
Yeah,
be looking at?
over the last few years, Dalton, we've seen so many people join the Data Plus community, whether it's Qlik partners that want to do more for their customers, or whether it's users that want to do more with Qlik, like also doing planning processes in Qlik, doing their operative daily processes in Qlik instead of relying on third-party tools. And having all those new people in our community gave us so many new ideas of what else you can do with Qlik, right? In planning cases, but also, for example, the Kanban board was inspired by user feedback because some of our users in the community used our Data Plus table as a Kanban board, right? And we needed to use the drop down to then move tasks to
Yeah,
the next swim lane. And now we have a Data Plus Kanban extension in there where you
nice.
can easily drag and drop directly in the interface to use your Kanban board wherever you need it in your daily processes. Or the Gantt chart is another great example. We had some users in the Swiss Data Plus community that loved another Gantt chart of another provider out there, and they wanted to move everything to Data Plus. And they said, "Well, guys, a Gantt chart is missing. We need milestones in there. We need a
Yep,
progress
yep,
bar in there. We need
sure.
dependent tasks in the Gantt chart. So please make one so we can use it." And we did together with them. And that's what I personally love about this community, right? That you have so many different ideas of what else you could be doing with Qlik. It's often just a small missing piece that you need to create, and that's what we do every day. And that's why this extension suite keeps growing all the time because of real life needs and ideas of what else we could add.
And that's great. So before we even move on to the MCP, even just these extensions, I think that's one of the things that a lot of customers and a lot of prospects who are just looking at Qlik out of the box don't get. ClickSense has always been built on an open API.
Yeah.
There is no closed box to pie chart or bar chart or line chart. That is not what ClickSense provides at all. ClickSense is essentially providing a associative engine on top of data in a phenomenal way that is very unique and so highly performant. But those open APIs allow for this kind of creativity and people who are curious to take it further. I don't really want that. If I could just, you know, do this instead, if I could just make it spin, if I could have it rotate, if I could shift things freely, and people who are creative, curious, and brilliant can build those things for you. So customers can either have their own people doing this. I've had customers who they had a team of people building the extensions to make it exactly what they want visually for their users. And I am so proud that I get to work on our partner team and work with the best partners, the most creative partners in the world, creating other things. And the fact that it's customer driven. I didn't hear you say I woke up in the morning, I had an espresso and I thought about doing this. It's a customer telling you if we could just tweak this, it would
Yeah.
really save us a lot of time and make it a lot easier, which increases adoption.
Yeah.
It makes it a more usable product, and people aren't dreaming of, I should have just stayed with something else. So
Yeah.
fantastic, and kudos on you for putting together such a suite of things that helps. Maybe as we get started, if we're going through, because I know we're going to talk mainly about the MCP stuff today, because I know that's hot on everybody's mind. I always love to talk MCP, so I'll talk to anybody about it. So fantastic. We'll talk about that. But while we're doing that, if you're showing some apps and can highlight any of these other extensions, that'd be great too. So the people can see that
Yeah,
there are
sure.
no boundaries to what you're already doing on top of the best data engine in the world.
Dalton, when I'm in a pre-sales pitch, I always describe the situation some years ago, before we started Data Plus, as kind of claustrophobia. When you do like analytics all day for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you might get the same feeling, right? And then it was so nice when Qlik Sense came out, that it was an open platform, API first approach, extensions, and all this kind of stuff. That even putting on some more visualizations opens up your mind and the room for many other use cases, even
Yep,
just with little visualization extensions.
yep.
And it was like the start of or the beginning of thinking about coming up with Data Plus, because then, like in the timeline, we came up with the idea, okay, if we can do like this visualizations and these already have so much impact,
Hmm.
what can we do with Writeback, right?
Right.
Because it was like a feeling we always got stuck in analytics, right? You can do really many use cases, but at some point you want to act on the data instead of just visualizing it. And then nowadays, I get the same feeling with Claude and ChatGPT, right? It's the same feeling I had back then in the days with analytics. I feel now when I chat with Claude, because it is like, okay, now I'm stuck in chat maybe,
Yeah.
because I come to a conclusion maybe, and it might be brilliant, but what do I do with it? Do I copy it and send it via email to my colleagues or to Achim?
Yep.
Yeah. And this is where MCP like was the solution. And now we can also write back from our Claude chat, from our ChatGPT chat, right into our Qlik apps, right? We would see that later on. But
You
that
can
is
always
like,
you can always
yeah,
choose what is the best way to solve your challenge, right? Sometimes it's easier to just click a couple of buttons or enter a value directly in the Qlik app, and sometimes it's easier because you have more tasks what you want to do at once, like creating a whole new financial planning scenario. Then you're super happy to have Claude at your side to be your assistant and to fill it out for you, right?
Mhm.
So we love that flexibility of just collaborating very, very efficiently.
Nice. That's
But
I still remember way back young when I was a young click dork and I first learned the bow tie and I started writing. I was creating a blog, and one of the very early posts was called Actionable Intelligence. And I said, how come we focus every other thing I see online coming from analysts is about intelligence and not about the actionable part? Right. And so very early on, it was like, man, we like this isn't for fun.
yeah.
I know I wasn't spending hundreds of hours interviewing business data stewards, gathering requirements and creating 85 line nested if clauses to solve bizarre problems, except, on the sixth Tuesday of the month, exclude this. And, if the day ends in a Y, don't use the Z code, and just crazy things. And it was like, I'm not doing that for fun, right?
Yeah.
This is to actually do things. So, and so to kind of transition in, let's start focusing on MCP. Again, those open APIs really lead to Qlik's being able to be dominant in this MCP world and be early. Like, we're not joining the hype wagon years afterwards. MCP is simply an interface wrapped around those APIs. And while many people were scared to use APIs and hand code things, which I get, not everybody is a coder, by being able to more highly and tightly wrap those things and make those tools available as English commands, that really did open the world. And I talk to people just on a daily, weekly basis of, here's why Qlik is already out in advance. And
Yeah.
so that does it. And I'm excited to see, like, you already taking advantage of action with Writeback and project planning and things like that. So I'm excited to see what you're doing with MCP. I'm going to start like drooling or chewing my fingernails here to see it.
Yeah, then maybe let's start there, because then we can combine our new Gantt chart as well as MCP, because we
Perfect.
have both in one app. So maybe
Let's
that's a
do
good
it.
starting point.
Bring it on stage.
Sebastian, do you want to share or should I?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm still sharing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and it seems like I can only start sharing if you stop your
Oh,
sharing.
Correct.
well, for some reason, this is hidden, but now it works. Okay.
Correct.
Now I should be able to.
Yeah, Zoom's funny. Once you're in a presentation mode and you're sharing, then it's hard to get it back. You got to hover in the right spot.
Yeah, for 1 second I was afraid I'd never started sharing, but I'm now happy that I did.
Yeah, I hope you can see like my little Gantt app here. And yeah,
So is this
what you
like
can see,
Microsoft Planning or something like that I
yeah,
use, like Microsoft Project I used like 30 years ago?
right.
Hey,
Here
I
you can
see
see
green,
our,
gray, and white. This must really be Qlik.
You can check out the
right.
URL. You'll find Qlik Cloud in there.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. What we can see here is our little project management we came up with, and it combines a lot of our extensions. And yeah, it will make you feel like it is not only a project controlling app, but it's also a little project management. The Gantt chart is great to visualize an overview of a project. It can be a really complicated one. As you can see here, there are many tasks to this project. Yeah. And if you want to see details, you can just click on one of the tasks. And as you can see, we will get a little pop-up here. Yeah. So you can see by the click, you can see all the details of the chosen task here. You can change now with our write-back capabilities. You can already start to change your project management here, right?
Sure.
Or your task details. For example, we can just decide to start a little bit earlier with our tasks. And we also might be interested in changing the color because we just figured out we have to start earlier and the progress isn't 95%. It's just about 10%.
That is not what people in the development world like to see. Those
Yeah,
percentages have to keep going up.
but we see this with many projects happening in Germany right now, right? Our
If you
airport
try
in
to build a new
Berlin.
airport or train station,
Yeah, yeah.
back to
So,
start.
as you can see now, we see the update right away. Yeah,
Yep.
our task changed right away. We see it starts earlier, but the completion rate is down to 10%.
Okay.
And, oops, sorry. You can see that this is really handy, but imagine if you would have to, as a project manager, if you would have to update now, not only one task, but maybe 100 or 1000 tasks, it might get a little annoying, right? And this is where, for example, MCP comes into play.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my Claude project here.
Okay.
So let's see if we can bring this on one screen. So what I just opened is a little project we share in our team. It's called Gun Demo. And you can already see that I had some presentations in the past where, yeah, I already gave Claude some tasks to change my project here. And let's start with a little demonstration of the co-working between Qlik and Claude here, based on our task we just changed before.
Okay. Now, before
So
you get started here, I'm going to lay a little.
sure,
The three of us know what we're talking about here. For
sure.
those of you who maybe have not seen Qlik MCP, Qlik MCP is a wrapper around our tools, our APIs that are surfaced through some type of a client. Claude is one of the premier clients that surfaces it. You create the connector like they did there. Thank you for bringing that up to Qlik MCP. You simply are going to connect it to your Qlik Cloud tenant. You create some security. There's documentation and everything that you need to get it turned on for your tenant is available for you online, or reach out. I'm happy to help you with that as well. Once that's connected, as Sebastian interacts and asks questions or gives commands in that little chat window there where it says write a message, it's going to evaluate the tools that are available in Qlik to do it, and then go do whatever you ask it. You could ask questions. What is my status? Or I'm assuming you're going to say, hey, I'm a little lazy today. I like to walk the dog. Why don't you go ahead and update 100 things for me while I'm walking my dog? Now, you might not write it that way, but that's really what you mean. I know how you are.
Thanks for the explanation. This is how it works. And I just opened the connectors of my chat here. And at the moment, we have activated two connectors. It is the standard Qlik MCP. It's available since the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And as you already explained, actually, it can now you can do with your Claude, you can do everything you could do as a user inside Qlik, right? I think it's probably the easiest description of what
No,
the Qlik MCP is.
that's a horrible description. No, I'm not kidding. That's a horrible description.
Okay, then please.
Because here's the thing. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. I'm not being mean.
Oh,
Not only can I do what I could do as a user, I
yeah,
can do things I wasn't trained to do yet as a user.
you're right.
That's
You're right.
the big differentiator, is not only will it automate what I know how
Yeah,
to do,
yeah,
it will allow me to do things and accomplish things that I may not have been trained yet in the user interface to do.
you
Whether
are
it's
absolutely
like,
right.
now, as the Qlik Dork, it is doing things faster than I can do. But as not the other thing Dork, like not the Data Plus Dork, I might not even know how to make adjustments. But I'm seeing that you have an MCP there, which I was going to ask, how in the world are you going to let it do your tasks without that? I'm able to ask without ever being trained on Data Plus. That's to me, that is a huge differentiation. Don't ever just bottleneck an MCP as well. It lets me do things faster, but do I really want to pay? It lets you do things faster and things you didn't even know how to do, and saves you from all the training that back in the old days you would have had to take classes for or read books on in order to learn. And so it can really jumpstart you to accomplishing great things that you never would have known how to do. Anyway, okay, so you've got a connector to our MCP. You've got to
Yeah,
your Data Plus SaaS. Wait a second. You even have an on-premise MCP?
We do.
Dude, you guys are leading edge, man. You guys are leading edge. The neat thing, you need to connect with Michael Terenzi, who just did my last Dork Cast, because he's released an open source version of a Qlik Sense Enterprise on Windows MCP server that's just free. So if you like
Yeah.
what you're seeing here, you would also be able to accomplish these same things on-prem, which is it's fantastic. You guys have already thought through the whole thing. So okay, so now
You
we
know,
kind of
it's
understand as you're saying, update and do whatever so I can go walk my dog. Behind the scenes, Claude's is orchestrator is going to talk to both of these, look at what the appropriate tool list is, and choose which to do. So can't wait to see what you're going to do here.
yeah. I'm so sorry. My explanation was way too simple, and you gave
Well,
a much
I've
better
just
explanation.
I've just helped you grow.
um, You know, it is all customer driven actually.
Mhm.
The local MCP development, we are like in a beta stage. So we have some test customers already using it because at the moment, at least, Qlik doesn't offer MCP for local customers or on-prem customers. That's the reason why we developed our own MCP for Qlik as well as for Data Plus, right? That's the reason why
Okay.
we are looking at like two MCP connections. It's the Qlik MCP connection and it's the Data Plus MCP connection.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so hang on. Are you saying your Data Plus on-premise MCP solution actually does Qlik APIs as well as part of it?
Yes,
Gotcha.
it
Okay.
does.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very
So
cool.
we actually the
That's a
goal
great
is to
ability
bring
to
to
hand
yeah
functionality to customers who need it.
feature parity between cloud and on-prem customers, right? That's
Love
our
it.
goal.
Love it. All right. Well, now I want to see what you're going to do while you're walking your dog.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just start to demonstrate a little task here. I'm gonna ask Claude to update my task user experience in project new product launch to color green and completion rate 85% maybe.
Okay.
So what we can see now is we call it two-layer MCP because the first step is to like get all the information from the existing Qlik app, right? This is Qlik standard MCP, let's call it that way. So we're gonna ask our Qlik app, okay, is the task, can I find the task? Can
Okay.
I find the project? What is the current status of the task and the project? And we also told Claude if there's any changes Claude should do, it should ask for permission first, right?
Okay.
It is just like in the instructions of our project, we wrote that down, that there is no accident. And if there is any change Claude might want to do, please ask for admission for before.
No,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, there's an awful lot of people that I think are going to be happy about that because they're like, I don't want this thing doing automatic stuff. Like, tell me what you're going to do first, and then I'll give
Yes.
you permission. Are they
Yeah.
able to change that? So once they do trust this, are they able to change that rule?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, at yeah, we are like in the early stage, so we all have to figure out what is the best configuration, what is the best, let's call it process to co-work with the agents. What we already see here is the update just happened, right?
Yep.
So Claude just updated our task here. So it is really important to mention that we always build our apps in a kind of way that you get a fully sophisticated project management
Yep.
inside our Qlik app with like all the functionality for the user, like changing the task details as I showed before.
Right.
You can always get an overview about all tasks. So you can do. Let's imagine there's like a shutdown of Claude.
Right.
Maybe you have no internet connection or no tokens left or whatever might be the problem. You could always do your project management without the agent, right?
Okay.
So this is really important to mention. So all the
Yeah.
functionality the agents are using, we also offer the functionality for the user, right?
Sure.
So, uh, and where it now gets interesting is this was like a
Well, it got
prompt
in,
where,
something else got interesting there that you're skipping over. Log
Yeah, it says
to
something about an
audit
audit trail,
trail.
right? What does that mean?
so
Ha ha
a
ha.
really a really nice feature of our product suite is that from the beginning we offer an audit trail for our user changes, right? So you can do time travel and all this kind of stuff, all the nice features we know about audit
Yep.
trail or a log. But we also have the same functionality for our agents here. So I would even like mentioned, it might be even better than the user log because we can tell the agent to write down much more information to
Yep.
the agent log than you might get from a user. Yeah, because the user, like, it has to be in an automated way because
Yep.
otherwise the user will be like annoyed and yeah, doesn't like the audit trail if he has to do like commenting on every change. And so we
Definitely.
do a DB log, right? And here the agent, we can tell the agent to write down like the user prompt, the chain of thought, the confidence level, and all these really
Ha.
interesting context information, right?
Yep. Nice. I love that, and I've seen a lot of systems with audit logs. I always talk about, hey, especially things with AI. Let's audit it, so that if Susie's asking questions that are costing us $1 and they're 1 cent questions, we need to know, because Susie's going to have to learn and grow. But especially for something like this, where hey, this is a multi-user system, we've got to log this. That's understandable. The ability to see the log inside of the app and know, as opposed to, okay, let me close this app. Now let me go find the log app that surfaces
It's
the
just a
log.
button away.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. Okay, so to ha ha ha.
We showed a simple example with only one task, but of course, the benefit of using an LLM really shows when you have a whole project plan that you want to update everything at once, right?
So I just came up, I was kind of creative and I just came up with the idea, maybe I want to change the color of all my project tasks. Yeah. And let's change it to the Qlik colors. So let's see. Because this task is interesting when it comes to like what Claude has to do now. It has to do several steps
Mhm.
because it has no clue about the Qlik corporate colors probably. And
Yep.
this information is not part of our app here.
Right.
So Claude has to do like a web research for that,
Yep.
right? And imagine like a budgeting process where like you want to take care of some geopolitical issues about energy prices, whatever. Yeah, you can also do, or you can use now the power of the agents and the web research to make this update process much more comfortable for you, right?
Nice.
So it even comes up with a suggestion, okay, my structure, my project structure is like this here.
Okay.
So, yep, it suggests, okay, let's use green, gray, the colors we love for my project structure. And this
Oh,
is
white
like
is
this
missing, huh?
white is missing, right? But white above white might not be the best.
That's a bit
Yeah,
difficult to see.
yeah. So,
I think you might need to say A. It was two options.
sorry, yeah.
Option A was green and gray, and the other one was only green.
Nice. Okay.
But that's a cool thing, right? It just doesn't just do something. It if it's not sure, it will ask because we told in the instruction, don't just run away from us, but stay with us. And if you're not sure, ask to be certain.
Yeah,
Because
and
of
it
course you
Yeah,
have
already
to
and
want to
I'm
happened,
save
right?
thinking what
tokens,
it's
right?
doing now, you're seeing, oh, if you go back to the Claude window,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
it's making those changes. The tool that's going on there, you see the D. I'm assuming that's like an icon from your Data Plus MCP.
Right.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
and the last, as always, the last step is to update our audit trail here, right?
love it.
Yeah, and as you can see, it's almost like the same time we need to update all the tests instead of one. So, and this like this performance or this power applies to every task you can imagine or every scenario you can imagine we can do with Qlik, right? And you are so right with your explanation in the beginning, where like I gave a really bad explanation because it was too short. Because this is like this what you just told us as an explanation or as the beauty of the agent is like the access to our project management here gets so much easier with our agent because I don't have to do like or I don't have to know my way around in
Mhm.
my project management app here. I just have to know what I want to do. Yeah. So I want to update a project task. I want to change like the duration of a task. I don't have to do like the task setup itself here. I can just take Claude now to do it, right? And I can just check if the final result is what I was aiming for.
Yep. And checking if the final result was what you're aiming for is a great ad. We need to come back to that.
Mm.
This is where folks we think of user interfaces as that's how people have to act with things. Um, but APIs are programming interfaces. Coders could act with the data that way. Those things get wrapped up into CLI sometime to interact from command lines, but they can get wrapped up into MCPs. One of the things that I love is that it's not just doing what I would have done by hand. Because you said update my all my task colors,
Hmm.
and it said, whoa, 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 I don't really think that you want every other row green and gray.
No.
It said, I think you want to keep the coloring at the higher level. So it picked your categories, your project groups, and group green and gray and green and gray, which is not even what you asked for. It said,
Dalton,
ooh,
think about master data
I'm
management.
thinking
Think
about what
about
you really mean at a higher level. I'm going to do what I think
Yeah.
is right.
yeah.
And so that was good because I would have thought if I want to change the color, I have to change every task by hand. And it didn't make me think that way. It thought at a
Hmm.
higher level.
Good thing or a really smart thing that comes into play here is when it comes to dependencies, right? It is
Mhm.
also, I mean, everybody working in project management probably knows about the topic of dependencies. But if there is like a network plan, a really complicated project plan with thousands of tasks, it might be really hard for a project manager to like see all the dependencies, to keep track of all the dependencies. You know about the underlying technique that there is a dependency and how it works, but to like have the right overview all the time is a really hard and annoying job, right?
Yep.
And the agent is so much better at this kind of task. So maybe we
And
can
I
start an
know
example.
that others, yeah, others in their project plans sometimes saw a lot of red when one thing was slipping and all these other
Yeah,
things were
right, right, right,
being
right.
slipped. They'd see red. Not my project plans. Mine were always done perfectly on time, of course, and probably finished early because I was never about seeing red. Um, yeah, but I can imagine. You're able to do things this are you able to ask it things too? If I postpone, could you say if I postpone this product thing, what else would be delayed? Are you able to ask it questions about it as well as taking the action?
Let's see. I just asked Claude to
Yeah.
postpone our product concept task here, and let's see what he comes up with. So he's already tracing the dependencies, right? So let's see.
It's better while he does that instead of us scrolling through 40 pages of things and lines that might be way out somewhere.
Yeah, summarizing is something LLMs are great for, right? So why not use it on your structured data as well, not only in PDFs?
Exactly. Yeah.
And we are often surprised how much context the LLMs actually understand. For example, one time we were in a demo with a customer who said, well, now I want to structure a report, like for a management meeting on Friday for our CEO. So please provide a Word document that summarizes all of that. And then suddenly you can go through 100 projects and have a management summary, what the CEO needs to know. And it actually outputs the Word document. That was crazy.
Nice. While this is still running, because I think as users, you could understand, it is going through a very detailed list here in trying to check. But that conversation about creating stuff, you can do PowerPoints, you can do Word docs, you can do PDFs. Claude gives you the ability to create something called skills. And so what I would recommend, if you just blindly say create a Word document, it's going to create a Word document for that chat. If you remember when Sebastian got started, he said new chat. The next chat, it might create a completely different Word document.
Right.
The third time,
Right.
it's a completely different format, right? You can create skills where you either hand it a template, a format, the color schemes that you want, the fonts that you want, so that every time you ask in the future, it's going to create a similar pattern. It's going to follow that skill to say, hey, I always want, a title page, I want an index, I want an appendix, I want whatever. Or, hey, use my corporate Qlik colors, and here's the 5 colors to use. Here's the ways to use them. So it's now gone through and doing all this. Here's the full plan, and it's given me the plan so that I have to approve it then, right?
Right. So we can see now that we get an overview what happens
Okay.
with our project and what happens to our dependencies if we want to just postpone our product concept task here. And yeah, now we can, or we are free to decide if we want to apply the changes. If we are happy and there's no collision or something, yeah, let's
Now,
do it.
before you say anything, do you want me to shift only the 14 tasks and leave the milestones, or move the milestones by 2 weeks? So what you asked, it said, hey, let me help you here. Here's something you might not have thought about. Because as I analyze these, there's alternative paths
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we could go down here that I might not even think about by doing it by hand until it might be too.
Right. Yeah.
Now I got to tell you what I'm pretty excited about here. Like as if, doing all my work for me while I'm walking my dog isn't enough. I can't wait to see the audit log and see how it writes up what we just did.
Let's see what happens.
See that now everybody's hanging like they know it's going to do the work. You've already proven it's going to do the work. I can't wait to see how it audited the work
So here we go.
without
We see
saying that I
that
was walking my dog while it was doing it.
it's just shifted 2 weeks, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wait for like the audit trail entry. Yeah.
Right.
So our project update is done. And
Okay.
let's have a look at our audit trail. And as you can see, it's a longer entry in our audit trail.
Okay. Yep.
So as you can see, you even get like almost a plain JSON here
Yep.
of all the tasks and all the new um, yeah,
Dates.
start and end dates, right? So yeah, this is how it looks like. I mean, this is like an early stage version, and you can think of like coming up with much more intelligence here, kind of,
Yeah.
for audit trail. But it already gives you an idea what's possible, right? And that, yeah, our perspective on how we look at like, well, probably we all think, I know the functionality of an audit trail, but it changes when agents come into play. Yeah.
And this is good. Like, you immediately jump to, oh man, we got to clean this up. This is
Yeah.
fantastic to me because it gives you the detailed row. It fetched the full maintainable list. Um, and then it went and found the one you were asking for. Then it went and did this, and it's identifying all of the steps that were taken behind the scenes that are
Yeah.
things that sometimes we take for granted have to be done.
And you were talking about skills, or templates. I think you can, when it comes to co-working with Claude, for example, I think you can think about Data Plus as also kind of a skill or template, because if we have a look at our financial planning here, unfortunately we are doing like a really huge update on our financial planning. So I can't show you like a live demo, but I can show you an existing scenario we have planned in
Yeah.
co-work with Claude. And I can, the whole budgeting is done by Claude. And what we use, or what we love to use Claude for at the moment, is like the audit work. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is really detailed checking. Does that make sense, this value and that value? And this is a placeholder we came up to build a place where like Claude can do commenting on our budgeting. Yeah, imagine like, I don't know, hundreds of controllers co-working on a really complicated budgeting. And they are putting all their Excel files, uploading it together to our Qlik budgeting plan here. And then you want to do an audit on like the whole project and the whole budget. And you just ask Claude, please, Claude, can you go over millions of cells and check it for consistency? Yeah. And now let's have a look here at the comments Claude
Dang.
does. Yeah.
It's not, yeah, you just kind of blew my mind because I had not even thought of that kind of use case. So
Yeah.
not only like individual users, they could always go out and do something with your right back to put a comment there. I
Yeah.
I spend hours evaluating something. I put a
Hmm.
comment so that everybody that comes after me can find it. We call that collaboration, right? That alone is a fantastic feature, and I'm sure your customers will like, man, that's great. Instead of sticky notes all over a monitor, and then Achim calls me, and I have to like, okay, here's the 14 things I need to make sure you know while I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Um, you guys actually kicked that up a notch because
It's
now
not
And
hidden in some Excel sheet, but it's available to
you're
everyone in the
letting
same ClickUp.
some smart friend called Claude go through, and it's actually underneath here. You're using Opus 4.8 is one of the large language models it's able to do. So you're using a large language model underneath to actually go find anomalies,
yes.
point them out with comments so
Yep.
that when Occam comes in, the brain surgery was already done for him.
Mm.
And so in this sense, you're extending collaboration to Claude collaborating with Occam then.
Yeah. More time for
Exactly.
the valuable
Yeah.
tasks. And you don't
Yeah.
have to choose Claude or Opus 4.8. You can freely choose. I mean, we were playing around with this all the time to figure out which model do you actually need for a certain task, right?
Yeah.
And you can even bring your own model. We in Europe we have a lot of customers that don't want to depend on a US based company
Sure.
for
Sure.
certain reasons, and you can even bring your own on-prem LLM and
Yeah.
connect it through
Yeah,
MCP,
but
right?
it's
That's the
it's
beauty of
just that
MCP.
idea that collaboration is super cool. You guys even kick that up because you're going to let the large language model collaborate and find anomalies for you to sit. And in that case, not only again could it save you time, It could find scientific anomalies like the one that you were hovering there. Hey, these other things range between here. I don't know if you can imagine how hard it is for a human to search through thousands of rows of an Excel sheet,
Oh,
figure out,
we know that well.
remember what the range is, and realize, oh, that row is
Yeah,
slightly above that statistically.
yeah, yeah.
That thing is 3 standard deviations above what all the other rows averaged to be.
Yes.
Like humans
Yeah.
can't find that kind of thing. And that's a beautiful use case. And again, it's harmless. It's putting a comment out there. And I'm assuming that Achim can say, you know what, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. Of course it's 3 times above. It was supposed to be, and kill it so 8,000
Yes.
other users in the
Yes.
classroom don't have to see it.
And this
That
is
is,
how we start implementing
yeah,
like agents or AI at our customer side, right? Because this is so nice. It's a so nice and easy starting point, right? And it's a really it's a guided or it's a controlled one
yeah,
because we always have our guardrails within our Qlik app, right? So you could do your budgeting processes even without Claude. Yeah, you might to do or you might have to do much more work then, but you could. And at the moment, it's more like an assisted way of working, co-working, to get familiar. And we were talking about fertilizer in the beginning, and I think now you get the idea why we can see it from the perspective as like kind of fertilizer to the use case spectrum of Qlik, and also for the use case spectrum of how we can apply AI to our corporate processes, right? Because there's almost no limit to it, and we are just at the beginning of getting creative.
yep,
And these are like giving you some examples at least: project management, audits in financial planning, and yeah, it's just the beginning. We can apply
Categorization,
that.
master data
Yeah,
management. Would you like
yeah,
to update 30,000 different articles in master data management manually? Or can
yeah.
you name a colleague that would like to do that for you?
it'd be a hard no for me. I'm busy that day.
This is, Achim mentioned master data management. Many of our customers, including ourselves, are kind of
Mhm.
annoyed by the housekeeping of a Qlik tenant, right? Um, at the beginning, it's easy. There's not so many apps on the tenant and not so much data. But after years, you might lose the overview of everything. And imagine we have like yeah, what is called inventar or inventory
Inventory?
of the
Yeah.
inventory.
Yep.
It's created just by a Qlik app, and you get like these helper or commenting functionalities with Data Plus. And imagine if you start working with this app, and now we integrate MCP into our housekeeping, right? And we
Good.
have some metadata, and we have the capabilities of asking users, is this app still necessary or can we delete it? Should the agent just clean it up? Yeah, imagine what can we do in the future with all these like new use cases. Yeah, that would annoy you in the past. It is so annoying to do it manually. Yeah, but now we just have to create the foundation, like in terms of creating the Qlik app, collecting the data. And now, okay, please, Claude, here is like your starting point. This is our housekeeping app. For this task, you will find any information needed at this point. Yeah. And so token efficient, there is no better way. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me, because I'm trying to understand this. I see keep and delete. Let me see if I understand this. If I look down at the intern scheduling and it says it's got 11 apps, a data connection. If
Yeah, we can have a look at these. Oh,
Oh no, I
sorry.
didn't want to
I
go
just
into it. If
Oh,
I
no problem.
if
So I
somebody
just got
pressed
locked
the
out.
delete button, if somebody were to press that delete button,
Yeah.
is
It's
the
not
idea
performed
that
in an automated way at the moment, but in the future it will. We just
yeah,
came up some days ago, we just came up with the idea of
yeah,
creating this housekeeping app because many of our customers are asking for this kind of like helper functionality to just
And
have an
then,
overview.
and then basically it's going to be communicating with some LLM under the hood to talk to the MCP to go do the things.
To maybe suggest what app can be deleted, what space is not necessary anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, because we are at the moment there is no MCP integrated here, but we are working on the foundation for the possibility of creating an MCP on top of it, or just integrating MCP on top of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I would add in there for you guys, I'll give you my 2 cents. You listen to your customers. When you show me that list, if you could show me the last like reload of any of the apps, like the most current reload of any of the apps, so I could not only see that intern space, I see that nothing has been reloaded in 6 months.
Here you go. App reload age.
Come on, man. You're
It's
not
always
supposed to read my
We thought of
mind.
that.
That's the first, like, I see the space, man. I can't delete stuff if it's being reloaded daily or hourly. Like, maybe I just don't know what it's about. That's fantastic.
Right.
So you guys are using something under the hood to pull all of this information from all the spaces, all the apps.
Yeah.
Because
Great. Qlik is so well designed.
Company just administrating can be a lot. Like, there's a lot.
And now it's actually worth something, right? On-prem, it didn't matter, but now with the capacity tenants, everybody cares about being careful with their capacity, right?
Yep. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's fantastic, man. You guys are really on to something. I love the way that there's no boundaries, right? You're using the MCP to even push the boundaries further, right? Like, could I have written something by hand using an API? Sure. It was always there. Was I smart enough to call all of the right APIs in all of the right orders all the time? Probably not, right? Like, there's going to be dependencies, and it can check the dependencies, and it can check everything, and the orchestration that these chats can do, like Claude, Chat GPT, they're amazing. So you're going to show off and just be like dragging and dropping stuff here, huh?
Yeah, this is our new Writeback Kanban board. So because also it's like customer driven, more than one customer asked in the past for this kind of functionality, and we collected all the questions for that, and then we said, okay, now the demand seems to be that huge. Let's do it. Yeah. And
I love to-do lists. I'm all about checklists. Where I create things with actual check boxes. Years ago, to show you what a nerd I was in a visualization, I used a tool to do what I could have just been doing by hand anyway, just because I loved the dragging and dropping and having the color coding. This is really cool. I may have to convert some of my paper forms just for the fun of using this. And again, this is right in Qlik. Like, there's the Qlik Cloud logo.
Yes.
If you're a customer and you're thinking, hey, this is just about pie charts and bar charts and line charts, get a grip. Like, what Qlik Sense provides, you can make this look like whatever other native tool you wanted using the extension, so that as you're gaining insights, you can do whatever it is that you need to do and take action. And basically, the sky's the limit. Like, you call it project planning, you call it financial planning. There is no limit to what you can do with your Writeback.
But you're still using the Qlik engine, right? You get all the performance, you get the associative engine, and that's the basis for everything that we're doing.
Nice.
Dude, we have customers, Dalton, saving hundred thousands of euros every year because they don't have to invest in a niche financial planning software, in a shop floor management system, in a project management, whatever. Yeah, they use Qlik to ablösen, Achim. What is ablösen?
Replace.
To replace old, outdated software solutions they don't want to use anymore, but they have no better option at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, we just use Qlik for this kind of use cases as well. So this
That's,
is
and
what
I
we,
think,
yeah,
yeah, a lot, and especially currently, um, that whole, it's a pie chart company, with the dawn of AI are realizing it is a data engine. And
yes,
sure,
yeah,
there was a visual front end because that's the interface that humans reacted with more.
Mm.
As we're realizing that interfaces don't have to be visual front ends, people are realizing that the context that they can keep in their Qlik app changes the game for the stories that they can get back out of AI then.
yeah,
And you guys are pushing those boundaries to let people know, look, that engine can drive things and we can provide the visual side to it that
yeah,
lets you do things you never even dreamed of doing for a fraction of the cost of having to pay for that user interface front end. And they had to build their whole back end just for that app.
right. Perfect explanation, Dorten. This is
So
what we
this is
do.
from your website, and as we got started, I gave you that website and said screen share it. You should have done that because then you could go out. So you're showing all the different tools you do, and you offer services as well. So I say, man, I really want that. And golly, Sally Sue is a little bit busy for the next 45 years with priority items I have in my queue. Can you help? So it looked like you provided some services as well.
Yeah.
Um,
But we love customers, Dalton, that you don't even need the services. We have so many customers where you just have passionate Qlik developers who don't need services because they're able to use all of this on their own. Because
Nice.
the people that develop these extensions, they're the same ones administering Qlik clouds and Qlik on-prem environments for our customers. So this was
Nice.
all built not only for the user but also for the developer to be super easy to use.
Nice.
And we now have a growing community of people using this every day, sharing use cases that they have built, from financial planning to sales planning to smaller stuff like vacation planning or accident management systems that used to rely on Excel or used to require a third-party tool.
I
We are
like this.
amazed
That's a
by
neat
the
org chart.
That's the better org chart actually, because we had some customers asking for the option of using more than one KPI within the org chart, and they told us, okay, we saw there is an org chart to Qlik, but it can only show one, and it's not able to calculate across hierarchies. The Qlik
Nice.
org chart, yeah, can do is our org chart can yeah, show as many KPIs as you want. You can also have like pop-ups with mouse over. We calculate across hierarchies, and yeah, this helps to save money, right?
yeah, this
It
alone
sounds like
saved
it
one
would be
customer
way too
20.
hard for me to figure out all those properties. You know what I would do? I
Use
would say,
MCP.
create me an org chart. Here's the 5 KPIs I want you to use, and boom, it would create it for me, right? See how lazy
Right.
I am? I really do like walking my dog, guys. That's neat. All right, guys, you want to go
Yeah.
ahead and stop sharing your screen?
Yep.
I really appreciate you guys coming back on. Achim, I'm so glad that I saw that little tree visual that you did the other day. And I appreciate your time. I know you guys are very busy actually trying to help customers, and that's how you make money. You're not getting paid to be on my Dork Cast. So I appreciate your sharing with us and taking the time. Sebastian, what's the last thing that you'd want to say in terms of being a fertilization engineer? Or how could
we
you
have we
encourage
yeah,
others to have
yeah.
the same title?
Um, we have a saying here: extend Qlik, enable action, and leverage value. I think this is the point we want to tell the world.
And you're trying to continue to fertilize that idea in people's heads.
Yes, every day. Yeah.
Okay.
So even within the
You can
last three
keep that
months,
marketing for free.
yeah,
I'll give you that for free.
yeah, yeah. Achim, how many
That's just what
extensions
they want to know.
we offered, or how many new extensions we offered to our customers within the last month? I think I count three. at
Yep.
least the
The
last three
Kanban board,
months.
the Gantt chart,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
heat map
Heat map
calendar. We
calendar,
keep
right?
adding new extensions all the time. So it's even if today you don't want to work with Data Plus, you should definitely keep watching what we do because the suite keeps expanding all the time with new
If not,
ideas for
yeah,
our
if
customers.
nothing else, like I'm going to extend that, right? If nothing else, if you get nothing else out of this conversation, it should be to let your mind keep dreaming and keep
Yes.
imagining what can
Yes.
we do that we have been limited to by doing it by hand. What have we been limited to because we thought of just visuals and we thought of the normal out of the box. Here's the ones, and we never press the extensions button to see other things and never search for those. So if you get nothing else out of it, I love that idea. Keep dreaming. Just keep following these guys to keep seeing what they're doing to just get ideas, even if you're not using them. So that's great. So Achim, what's the last thing you wanna say to people just to kind of encourage or motivate or whatever?
Yeah, I'd ask what else can you do with Qlik? Which process can you automate? How can you foster collaboration in your team in your company to have more time for actually valuable tasks and discussions in the team? And how can you automate away everything else? That's what we love doing.
That's fantastic. That's one of the things that I started sharing very early on with Qlik MCP, being able to do some things manually, was that is going to free you up to spend more time with the data students, right?
Yeah.
As an IT guy, I could never ever spend enough time with the people that really ran the business, right? I was a service. They were my customers,
Yes.
and the amount of brilliance that those people have, that we sometimes, oh man, I'm only 80%. I got to get this done, right? And I've only got a week to do it. I just need to put out version one of it. The more time that you can spend with them to get ideas to make things better, the Qlik MCP can automate. And what Data Plus is showing you is that it can do things to save you tremendous amounts of time, which means you're then freed up, like you said, to do the really valuable things, the ones that really matter, to get the new things, the new information from people and take care of that. And even administrating the system then, being able to combine, hey, how can we use AI to help you speed up your task as an administrator? And I love the way that you give, hey, we're going to prompt you. By default, we're going to prompt you. If you turn around and say, hey, I completely trust you, just go ahead and imagine what you think I'm going to ask and go ahead and do that too. That'd be great, but it's done in a secured way. So I appreciate you guys' time again. If you're watching, hopefully this changes your concept of what ClickSense can do to you, for you, how it can work, what the value of that Qlik MCP is. As you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to use Qlik MCP to ask questions of data, that you could already be doing in Qlik Answers right on the screen. This gives you should give you a different mindset. And it's not something that I did to, try to convince you to think about Qlik MCP. These guys are doing it for customers, and I'm sure the customers are just drooling over the abilities to do these things. So, guys, thank you very much. As always, for everybody out there, I sure hope you have a great day.